Hi, my loves. It's Jeray Maleta Girl from Around the Way, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I'm coming to y'all with some commentary about your boy, Kevin Gates. Now, before we hop into my commentary, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We talk about cultural commentary, hot topics in a way that helps us reshape and reframe our paradigm so that way we can live the life that we deserve, period, and a point blank. All right. If you sound like you want to be into those kind of things, make sure you stick around, sister. There is room and space for you here. Now, let's get into Mr. Kevin Gates, Mr. Knock Knees himself. Girl, that man is online on Instagram tripping about them. Just okay. He is over there tripping about Dreka, and he really just doesn't know how to handle it, right? So we know that Kevin Gates is a freak. He don't really care. He does all of these different things. So it's no surprise that he is engaging in a love gap relationship, or even, I'm kind of surprised this is the first time, honestly and truly. But the fact that he goes online and starts to berate even the woman he's next to, girl, and, former women who I suspect he's specifically talking about Dreka. I specifically think that he's talking about Dreka because of just the rage and the amount of intensity he was speaking in. So I'm going to get into the thing that he said here. It's a lot of vulgarities, so I might chop it and screw it. But, we're going to get into it. I'll play his commentary here.
Man, don't no nigga want no old washed up ass man. What nigga don't want a young hoe, man?
Ooh, now he want a young hoe. Now he's looking for the young hoes. The old hoes are out of here, but the young hoe, he's staring right at her. She's staring back at him. Let's continue.
Huh? You don't like it, eat my man, straight up. You hear me? What nigga wants something that been, you heard me? Don't nobody go, man, nigga have emotion. We ain't going to the used car line, man. What the fuck? But see, that don't be nothing but that washed up shit on that, like, man, hey, yeah, nigga damn near, yeah. Nigga old enough to be your daddy, yeah. Of course. Yeah, nigga want some, yeah. The fuck? Got more sense than, hey. Got sense enough to know how to listen.
I mean, Mariah the scientist was the one who said, "Daddy, am I your baby?" Okay, he said she old enough to be my daughter is what she's saying. I'm old enough to be her daddy. Yeah, that's what I'm on. That's what I'm on now. We all know that Kevin Gates has come out and said that he slept with his cousin before. And so it's no surprise that he, every man like a little daddy action or whatever the case. But to be with someone who you literally could be a father to and knowing it and saying it in that way is a bit concerning. For me and my homegirls, okay? And homegirls is including that young woman who's sitting next to him who looks very uncomfortable. If you look at her body language, she looks uneasy, uncomfortable. And like this smirking, I know something like, oh, she's smirking like, whatever. She seems nervous to me, honestly and truly. And I don't want to focus too much on like the whole like old and washed. Like we all know that Kevin Gates is a whore, a slut, all of these different things. I'm sure he probably got some freak off situations. I'm gonna just leave it there. I'm sure, right? So, it's always interesting to hear these men speak, because the purity politics of it all, he's like, I don't want no old used car, as if he's not an old used car, right? He's 39. He's, messing around with the likes of Brittany Renner and Chinese Kitty and he'll let him, stick it in. And somehow or another, the man himself is not washed up, right? It's the misogyny of it all. And, unfortunately, young women get caught up in these cycles, because, she listens better because she's she's a veteran, right? So she can take a command. Okay. A golden retriever, who knows? Or two, she's fresh out of living with mommy and daddy and she's used to having someone kind of control her life. And I'm not saying that to say that I don't think or I don't approve of age gap relationships in the way of, men being older and the woman being younger, right? I think it's possibly more predatory than a younger a younger man and an older woman, honestly and truly. Y'all can say whatever in the comments or whatever. It's very highly likely that a man is going to be a serial unaliver than it is a woman. Y'all know how y'all play. So don't even come over here with that, right? But I want to bring you guys' attention to the fact that he is continuing to not talk about her details and her characteristics and what he loves about her and how she is, 26 and a veteran, and he loves her and she's smart or whatever the case may be. He is completely focused in on these old hoes and washed up cars that he's all put his piece in, and he's a little bit sour about it. I think it has something to do with the fact that his estranged wife Dreka is asking for a little over 70,000 per month in spousal and child support, right? I mean, I'd be a little salty, a little butthurt too, when you get into a relationship with someone who is equally yoked and who does understand what life is and the players on the board, and has and has a real asset and a contribute. Now, I'm not saying that this young woman doesn't have those things or whatever, because we don't know anything about her, right? But Dreka is the same age as Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates is 39. I did the research, so you didn't have to. He'll be 40 in February, and Dreka is 39. He also dated Brittany Renner, who's 33. And she has who she's had, and again, he's been all around the world. Finally, he's with this young girl who is 14 years younger than him, and suddenly he is like, "Oh yeah, I don't want no used car," because he didn't have them all. He doesn't have them all, and I want to take a moment for the young ladies who are here. There are going to be times when you are going to deal with someone older. Know that the power dynamics are not the same. And I remember vividly being a younger woman, and I was sought after and pursued by older men. And I just felt like, because I am so grown and I did so much and I was so independent, that surely you couldn't be, doing anything to me. Trust and believe, because people have lived experience. It just is what it is. The power dynamics in the relationships are not going to be the same. And if you are dating someone that is showing signs of narcissism, control, berating and disparaging other women in your presence, that's a red flag, even if that woman he's describing or disparaging is not you. Okay? Because what it means is, if he's angry enough, if you age enough, that hatred, that vitriol can swiftly and professionally turn into you. All right. And so I just want us to be very for real when we come to these type of conversations, because what makes these men think that for 2 seconds that they are not old and washed up? And then whatever made 39 super old, right? I think that if she was 26 and was healthy, and he's 39 and was healthy, good for them. Love wins. You understand what I'm saying? But it's the fact that he went on this whole rant and tried to kick. It's very much akin to when a black man is dating a white woman, right? And he's like, he can't stop talking about the black woman, but you're sitting with your white queen. You understand what I'm saying? If that's your preference, that's your preference. But why disparage the other one? It's given internalized self-hatred. And men don't realize that women, we can see past that. You're spiraling. You're feeling a way about your age, and you feel like you can lean into patriarchy. You can lean into the hierarchy and the misogyny and be like, yeah, I can go give me a young bitch. And only that's because you have a couple of coins, right? You have a couple of coins, you have a couple of dollars on you. And so he is feeling a way about possibly his divorce to his, wife, his ex. Well, no, they're still married. He's actually still married to this girl, to this woman, I'm sorry. And he's prancing and pooching around with another woman, a younger woman, saying, he don't want no used car, but he's literally, quite literally a used man. He's not even divorced yet. He belongs to someone else, legally. So guys, don't be fooled by this. Ladies, young ladies don't ever think that, I got the one up and it couldn't be me, bitch. It very well could be. I think that this young woman is extremely beautiful. I don't know much about her. I don't know anything about this lady. I'm not about to sit up here and act like whatever, because it's never the woman. It's always the man, lusting and perverted and, living out his ancestral dreams and everything like this, right? So if you are dealing with someone older, make sure the power dynamics are what they are, and know what you're in for, and get something out the deal, bitch. I hope that bitch you over there getting a laser surgery remover and at the game, girl, get him for all he got. Love wins, bitch. Go ahead and go get his ass. He needs a quick ego boost to make him feel better, and you need your pockets greased. Right? Don't be around here trying to say, and then I'm so young, I'm just going to show him, I'm going to prove to him I'm down, girl. No, wrong road, girl. If you're going to do it, then do it. Okay. He also mentioned something about feeling safe around her. And I wasn't with everybody like that, but I feel safe around her. I mean, you possibly feel safe because she's not in the industry. And, she's depending on you to manage everything and to be in control. She's possibly starstruck. Never been in the limelight before. There are so many things that are at play here. All right, with the power dynamics. And I want to know what you guys think about this. Primarily, a lot of us over here are between 25 and 35. So if you fall into that category, how do you feel about that, sister? Let's get into some of the comments that were made underneath this post. So someone says, it seems like nowadays the younger women are more used up than the older ones. He's just looking for somebody that he can control. She got a lot of hearts on her comment. Now, I don't want to say that the younger ones be more used up, more or less. I'm not getting into all of that, because what you do is what you do. But I will say that the younger generations, they are more sexually free and sexually fluid, and they did not look at things the same way. Like, that's just the proof is in the pudding, girl. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. I mean, they even look older. Now, that I do agree with. Them girls be Botoxed down by 23, sister. Like, honestly, it's really scary when you think about it, but that's also very true. Anyway, let's get into some more comments. A man says, I'm actually okay with the legal age gap between couples. The problem is derogatory and awful language he's using to describe women, while his women stands by emotionless. Again, like, I agree with this. If he was just like, yeah, and this is my lady and I love her so much and I don't even mean nothing, okay, hit us with the R. Kelly, age ain't nothing but a number. But to go on and say, yeah, she is the same age as my daughter, or she could be my daughter, and yeah, of course it's that. Like, it just seemed very perverted and just weird to me, right? The other lady said, he's a 39-year-old ran through Ninja, like Ben, like, girl, probably before he was famous, okay? But I digress. Someone says most men in their 40s who want to date women in their early 20s want to control them. And I don't disagree. I think I want to add to the fact that a lot of men who are in their 40s and they want to date girls who are in their early 20s is because they are themselves emotionally immature, emotionally stunted. And so I can easily just deal with someone on this capacity because I don't have room or space to handle something at a deeper level, which would make sense for someone like a Kevin Gates. He just, got his heart broke by the Brittany Renner. He was running around with her ass. Drika won $70,000 a month, and so now he's back to the primitive stage of man where he ain't in love. He don't give a fuck. I ain't seen him with the feather in his hair yet. But he's like, listen, I need somebody to do what I'm going to say. I don't need nobody challenging me with their own sense of thinking and their own money and power and resources. Nah, bitch, I need this to be me. Not all men, though, right? I think that there is room for people to fall in love in age gap relationships. I really do believe that. I just think that he is someone who is possibly hurt and is looking for an easy fix, an easy way out. And I'm tired of you O's. And so now let me go get me a young up, period. So he says, so basically you want a child who listens. Ooh, okay. Basically you want a child who listens. Exactly. Who you could still do sexual things to. Common Kev, that ain't it. Sooner you will realize some of these young women are only after one thing. Okay. Shout out to my nigga Shannon Sharp. And they listen better than you think. You just shouldn't brag about it. LOL, just wait and you'll see every kid always behaves well when he or she wants something. I mean, who knows? I feel like 26 is more grown. I mean, I'm imagining me at 26. I was very mature. 40-year-old man, 30 something. 40 is a lot. 40 is a lot. And the fact that he's like, yeah, and I could be her daddy. That's the part for me. That's really the part for me. And I remember looking at something, one of the research, like documentaries or whatever, and like ancestry, stepdad, stepmom, dad goes in the door. Like that's like the highest sought after corn category. And all of these things play a part in our society, in our world, what we accept and what we don't, what we think is cute, what we think is funny. And these men feel like, yeah, I'm well within my rights. I'm well within my bounds. And it looks a mess. It really looks a mess. Let me know what you think, though. I want to hear from the men, too. Y'all step up to the front. We ain't going to get you. We just want to hear what you got to say. Ladies, how do you feel? Young, old, somewhere in between. Let me know what you think. Drop down in the comments. As always, I'm sending you much love and much light. I will see you in the next video. Peace.